My New Life in Equestria by MaxBeezy, Chapter 5. Crazy Heart Strings. It was just supposed to be a normal day. Waking up, I noticed a note placed by my bed. It was from Twilight. Dear Matt, Spike and I are headed to Canterlot for some important business with the princess. We will be back by the time night falls. Hope you slept well. Have a good day. Twilight Sparkle. I don't know what exactly that business was, probably checking on the progress of the spell Celestia was working on. Then again, it's only been a few days, and she said it was going to take months to complete. After a morning stretch, bath, and looking over the many bruises that I have accumulated over the past couple days, I had a small breakfast of some nutritious fruit. I have to say, I was really getting a hang of this healthy thing. My stomach, which had a slight pudge for most of my life, was starting to go down a little. With no extremely fatty foods in sight, with the exception of Sweet Apple Acres pies or Sugar Cube Corner's many treats, I was going to lose weight in no time. After that, I began to plan my day. It was originally going to entail making my way to Fluttershy's house, being the pony that I interacted with the least during their stay in Manhattan. I had hoped to get to know her better, and maybe break through the timid exterior that she had shown me. Maybe if I had time after that, I would seek out Rainbow Dash, though a part of me felt that she would require a whole other day to work through, given that we weren't exactly on the best of terms when she was in my apartment. Putting on my clothes, I was ready to go out the door. Upon opening said door, however, there was some pony standing in my way. An aquamarine-colored pony with a shining blue and white mane and a cutie mark that looked like a lyre, one of those stringed instruments I would see in fancy restaurants. I glanced at the mark quickly, just in case she would mistake me for some kind of pony pervert. That day at Applejack's had gotten me curious about the marks on the other ponies' behinds. Strange to admit, I know, but it had to be said. "Hello?" I asked the pony. "Hello, sir," she said, with an enthusiastic grin on her face. "My name is Lyra Heartstrings. I see you are the new resident of Ponyville, and I bid you welcome." "Oh, thanks," I said. It was nice to see some pony I didn't know greet me with such a warm welcome rather than being swarmed by the paparazzi. "My name is Matt." "Pleased to meet you, Matt. I was just going door to door selling some perfume, and I was wondering if the mayor of the house would like to sample some?" "Twilight's not here, unfortunately. I'm sorry." "That's okay. Hey, would you like to try some?" "I don't know. I'm really not much of a perfume kind of guy." "Oh, sure you are. I bet you would be perfect to decide if she'll like it or not. Maybe you could give it to her on one of those romantic dates?" "She's just a friend, but—" A thought then crossed my mind. She had been kind enough to allow me to live with her, bought me things, and gave me a bed to sleep in. Maybe I could repay her by getting her things. However, perfume could send the wrong message, as I wasn't looking for anything close to a romantic relationship with her. Then again, I thought that it couldn't hurt to give it a shot. "You know what? Sure, I'll sample some." "Great!" Her eyes lit up like Christmas. She pulls a bottle from her pouch as she sprays a generous portion on a nice white rag. She holds it up, gesturing me to come closer. "Tell me what you think." I leaned down to sniff the rag. It doesn't smell like much, but what it did smell like was really strong. It made my eyes really heavy. It almost smells like— Suddenly I had the urge to black out, and I totally did. Chloroform? Really? Of all the things that could have knocked me out in Equestria, it was chloroform? I would have preferred getting hit in the back of my head with a stick. Great, I probably jinxed myself by even saying that. Now I'm going to look over my shoulder for the rest of my life. But future events had to wait right now. I was unconscious, and the cause was his Lyra Heartstrings. I began to slowly but surely regain consciousness. My vision was extremely blurry, but I could tell that I was in a dark room, lit only by a single swinging light. Like the kinds I would see in those detective movies back in my dimension, where the hard-boiled cop would interrogate the witness, making him crack under pressure. This was not a police interrogation, however, far from it. "Subject's skin is a little paler than anticipated," I heard a familiar voice say. "Could change if exposed to light, for an extended period of time, maybe?" I recognized the voice. It was definitely this Lyra chick. I then felt a hoof against my stomach. "A little squishy in the abdomen, but definitely has a fitness to him in other areas." Suddenly I felt a wet tongue lick the side of my face. That was a wake-up call if I ever felt one. My eyes snapped completely open. "Subject tastes of nothing. That doesn't surprise me." "What the hell?" I shouted. Lyra turned to me, seizing her talks into a giant recording device with buttons made to accommodate her hooves. She shuts it off and walks over to me. "Ah, you're awake. How do you feel?" "Like I've been kidnapped. How do you think I feel?" "Apologies for the charade, but I didn't think you would come with me willingly." "What do you—" Suddenly I felt nothing much, really. This is usually the part where I would discover that my hands and feet were chained to something, or that I was tied to a chair, but that moment never came. I was free to roam around the room as I pleased. All that was there was a table with the aforementioned recording device, that light, and Lyra. "You're not very good at this, are you?" "With what?" she asked. "Kidnapping. Aren't you going to torture me or something?" Great, I was being a real idiot, giving her ideas like that. "What? No," she said. "Why would I do that? That's sick." "Then why did you knock me out and bring me to this dark basement?" "It's not dark. There's a light above you, see? And I brought you here so I can study you." "Get in line, Lyra. Twilight is already doing that." "But that's not fair. I got here first." "What are you talking about?" Lyra's horn glowed a soft green as the book floated over to the table. I walked over to it as she slammed the book down, opening it to show a detailed drawing of a human male and female. She may have been slightly crazed, but she drew very well. "I knew about the humans long before Miss Sparkle did. I told them that nearly hairless two-legged creatures with hands existed, but no pony ever believed me. Now that you have appeared, it's Twilight that gets all the credit, not me. I deserve to be the one to see how you work." "How did you know about us in the first place?" "In my dreams. I dreamt of meeting you, touching you, holding you, and now I have you. I can do what I want." She flashed a crazy smile at me, and I slowly backed away. "Now take off your pants and let me see what you got." "Hell no," I shouted. "What's with you ponies trying to get my pants off? Only Rarity had any success with that." "Did she now?" Lyra asked with a sly look. "No, not like that. It was for clothes and stuff. The point is that I'm not going to do it." "Oh, fine. Have it your way, I suppose." Her crazy smile disappeared into something friendlier, which bewildered me. "What, that's it?" "Well, it's not like I'm going to rip your clothes off and examine you from top to bottom if you weren't going to consent to it." "But you chloroformed me. You already did something without my consent." "Okay, that's true. All right, let's say that I didn't drag you. That I went up to your door and said, 'Hey, I'm Lyra Heartstrings, and I was wondering if I could examine your body.' What would you have said?" "No!" "See what I mean? Now this whole thing is meaningless." "What? You seriously didn't have a backup plan in case I said no?" "I didn't quite think that far ahead." "Why couldn't you have just examined me when I was unconscious?" She paused. I'm an idiot, once again. "That's a good idea. I'm going to drug you again. Then I can do as I please, and there will be nothing you can do about it." "Well, that's no good, because now I'm expecting it. You try it, and I'll fight you." "Like heck you will. Come here." Just then she lunged at me, close in hoof, as she tackled me to the floor. We wrestled as she attempted to shove the chloroform soaked clothes back into my face, but I was having none of it. I wasn't going to let her examine me without my consent, and by God, I was going to do everything I could to get her off me. With a sudden bout of strength, I pushed her off me with mighty force as she fell onto the ground. "I told you I was going to fight you." Silence. She wasn't responding. Lyra? You all right?" Still nothing. Worried that I might have injured her, I walked over to her body and turned it over. She had landed on her own clothes. She was out cold. "Oh, for the love of God!" I said in disbelief, meeting a palm with my face. These situations just get worse all the time. Now my captor was out like a light, and I was free to go. I walked up to the basement door, opening it up to reveal that I was still in Twilight's house the whole time. I guess that explained why no pony questioned Lyra as she was dragging my body across the gravel, and why I didn't have dirt on me whatsoever. What this also meant was that I couldn't just leave Lyra down there. After a long pause, filled with sighs, I went back down to the basement, picking up Lyra and laying her down on the couch. As I checked her for any injuries, I had to admit that she was pretty cute when she wasn't trying to knock me out for disturbing needs. Using the first aid skills I learned from Twilight, I bandaged up a minor scrape that she received during our tussle. She didn't wake up for another hour. I had a few things to do while waiting, like read one of those science books that Twilight loved so much. I don't know what came over me then, as the book I read was extremely boring, what I wouldn't have given for a magazine to read. I picked the next best thing and read Twilight's journal she left lying around the house. Skimming through it, I saw her observations in Equestria and some pretty neat pictures too. I looked over my section, seeing that she really did write down most of the silliness I spouted, along with the added bonus of actual facts. Lyra gradually woke up, groaning as her eyes opened. I ceased reading the book as I went back to her side. Her eyes opened, staring right at me. What happened?" she asked. "You knocked yourself out. I had to bring you upstairs." "Hey, you didn't try anything while I was out, did you?" "What kind of guy do you think I am, exactly?" "I don't know how human males behave when there's an unconscious female present." "First of all, I didn't do anything. Second of all, you drugged me first. How do I know you didn't try anything?" "Because I told you that I wasn't going to do anything without your permission." "How do I know that? What if you took advantage of me, then put my clothes back on without me knowing, and this is all an act?" "What? No! Definitely not. Besides, you're human. I may be curious about the human male as much as the next scientific pony, but not that curious." "Exactly, and I didn't do anything because not only am I a chivalrous guy, but also because you're a pony." "How long are you going to keep riding that scooter when you realize that there are no human women around?" As strange as this conversation was going, she was completely right. "You have a point there. I'm going to have to think about that." Then it hit me. "Well, I won't be a human for long, because Princess Celestia is going to change me into one of you. So there." "Really?" she wondered. "Yeah, and once that happens, I won't have to worry about that for as long as I live." "Worry about what? Being attracted to ponies?" "I didn't say that." "Yes, you did. You want to become one of us so you don't feel bad when you eventually find us attractive." "Don't put words in my mouth, you crazy ass mare. I said nothing of the sort." "Then why are you changing yourself?" "So I can fit in." "And so you can date other ponies." "Will you stop that? Sure, you're all kind of cute and huggable and stuff, but attractive? No. I'm not attracted to you ponies, and I never will be attracted to you ponies, and nothing you can do will change the—" In an instant she latched onto my body, as her forelegs and hind legs wrapped themselves around me as she drove her lips into mine. I stood up as quickly as I could as she continued to ravage my face with the sloppiest of kisses I have ever experienced. I grabbed her hips as I mercilessly tried to push her off of me as her tongue invaded the depths of my mouth and continually lapped up my tongue in the process. She wasn't budging and had no intention to let go for as long as she wanted to. "Stop it!" I yell with a free breath. "No!" she yells back, forcing another kiss. I backed myself into the kitchen cabinets as my attempts to get her off of me became more and more futile. Her horn glowed and my belt flew off my pants across the room at blinding speed, knocking over a vase. With no belt to hold them, my pants descended to my knees. "Let go of me!" I break away to yell again. "Never!" She dives right back in. My flailing limbs knocked nearby plates and cups down on the floor before I was forced to move elsewhere. I stumbled again and was slammed against a nearby wall. Soon, much to my surprise, I felt my body beginning to surrender to her as my pushes became caresses and my eyes relaxing to the feeling of her in my mouth. This may have been a science experiment for her, but damn it, it was an interesting one. Just then, as my hands started to move down her back, "Matt, we're home!" Twilight called out, walking through the front door with Spike. "You won't believe the day I—" She then ceased with what she had to say. We stopped. Both Lyra and I separated ourselves from each other's mouth as we looked at Twilight and Spike, both absolutely mortified at what they were seeing. "Is this the part where I say, 'What the hay is going on?'" she queried. "Is this the part where I say, 'It's not what it looks like'?" I respond. A flash from a light went off. We all looked to see Spike holding up a camera with a devilish smile on his face. "I think the newspaper would like this," he said, running off into the darkness of the night. "Spike!" I yelled after him. It was no use. Lyra finally let go of me, brushing herself off with her hoofs and straightening out her mane. "Well," she said, "thanks for the, experiment. I'm going to, go now and, do stuff." She trots back to the basement, bringing back her book and tape recorder with her. "So, yeah, nice meeting you and take care with the thing. Bye." She then rocketed out of the house in both embarrassment and fright. As for me, after pulling my pants back up, I collapsed against the wall, sliding down into a sitting position. Twilight carefully walked up to my shocked state of being and sat down next to me. Interestingly enough, she didn't look angry, but a slight smirk formed on her face. "So, how was your day?" she asked. "I was drugged, kidnapped, and I believe I just got taken advantage of. Otherwise, it was all right. How about yours?" "Well, Canterlot was pretty crowded. The Wonderbolts were in town, and so I watched Rainbow Dash try to get onto their team for the millionth time." "How did that go?" "She might have a shot." "That's cool," I said. "How's Celestia doing?" "She's good. She hasn't started on the spell yet. Said that duties were getting in the way and told me to apologize for her." "That's all right. Tell her there's no rush or anything." "Yeah, I can tell." She giggled. I shot her a look of annoyance. "Sorry, I should have told you about Lyra. She's a bit eccentric." "I think that's just putting it mildly." "So what exactly happened anyway?" "I think I was planning on buying you perfume." "Do I smell bad?" "No, I felt like doing something nice. Turned out the perfume Lyra was selling was chloroform. I don't think you would like that very much." "I don't think any pony would like that." Then she was talking about how she wanted to study me with my permission. It was really weird. "Why didn't she just study you when you were unconscious?" "That's what I said. Then she tried to drug me again. One thing led to another and—" "She had her tongue down your throat." Twilight finished the story for me. "Yeah, that about covers it." "Are you going to be all right? You look out of it." "Sure, I'll be fine. I might need some psychiatric help for a few 100,000 years, but I think I'll be all right. Are you mad at me?" "I'm actually trying not to laugh right now." "Are you serious?" "Very." "Go ahead and laugh. I really doubt that it's going to hurt my—" She laughs. It's loud, very loud. She was laughing so hard that she could hardly breathe when it was getting to the end of her guffaw fest. I was wrong. It did kind of annoy me. Still, I couldn't imagine how she must have felt walking into a situation like that, and I don't even want to. "I'm sorry," she said, nearly in tears from laughing so hard. "Sweet Celestia, that was just too funny." "I'm glad some pony found some enjoyment out of this." "I don't know. You seem to enjoy it." "Don't start. This is going to scar me for life. By tomorrow I'm going to be in the papers as a human that made out with a pony." "It's no better than that one time when some pony caught another making out with a tub of jelly." "Oh my god, that happened? Ponies are weird. Not all of them, but still." "All I'm trying to say is, don't worry about it. Yeah, you're probably going to be hounded for a while, but it'll pass. Besides, you're going to be a pony soon anyway, so you can make out with all the mares you want when that happens." "Oh, good for me," I say with a great deal of sarcasm. "I'm furiously anticipating that." "You want me to clean up the mess you two made?" "No, I got it. You go get ready for bed or whatever. I'm just going to stay here for a bit. Sorry I broke a couple of your plates and that vase over there." I pointed at the shattered vase where my belt was lying on the top of the wreckage. "I'll take care of that," she said. She walked over to the vase and used her magic to mend it back together. My belt came floating back to me and I grabbed it out of the air. "There, as good as new. Next time some pony takes off your belt, make sure it doesn't hit anything fragile." "I'll keep that in mind," I chuckled. Twilight nodded as she went upstairs. I sat still for a few minutes, reflecting on the crazy events of the day. Not a week into this world, and already I was bruised, trampled, and made out with. I was seriously rethinking my exclamation about how I was going to like it in Equestria. I wanted to close my eyes in hopes that I was just having the weirdest dream in the world. Something to tell people about, or not tell about. The oddest thing was, all I could really think about how strange it was that I felt compelled to continue the madness that was happening when Lyra was full on making out with me. I was going to need some serious therapy. Okay, every pony, we all know that from the fan canon, Lyra is totally crazy about humans. Yeah, we all know that. Would she go that far? I'm not sure. Well, it is a fan character, and, everyone is able to bend those to their own liking, but I really think that was more than strange. Really. Okay, next up is, let me tell you that this story is really taxing to do. I have the link to the story in the description so you can check it out yourself. And there are things that sometimes really don't fit. There are words missing, or there is a word that isn't really fitting for that, like in the previous chapter when he says it was 10 in the morning, I usually don't wake up that late. The word that actually stood there was not wake up, but work up. So the sentence would have been, I don't usually work up that late. Doesn't make any sense in my book. There were other things when there was a letter missing, when there would have been it. Instead there was just I, or, sorry. This is really annoying to do. I will finish it, but seriously, next time I will hold true to my word and pre-read the story before I take a request. Because this is the second time I have a story like this, and wow, sorry. Sincerely yours, Visual Pony.